Today we're learning about Achilas Matzah Rishus. So the Sfas Emes says, because the whole year it's not a Rishus. What does that mean? Because everything that a person has a shibud, an obligation, and a nature, he cannot eat matzah, which is simple. It's without any change. And he wants to have things that are different. In Pesach, when we are free, the time when we became free, the time when we recognize our freedom, and the Pirush that freedom means even in our physical being is free from the desires that he usually wants, because the time is nature, and the freedom is to be above that of time and of nature. And only by Yetzias Mitzrayim was there a special spiritual light even into the time and to the nature. Time, I guess, the nature would be the splitting of the sea. And he says, so said my grandfather, the Shiur, and what it says, it's called Leil Pesach. It's called a Seder, an order to show. So according to Bnei Yisrael, there's a special order even for Nisan. That's not according to the natural order of things. That's why it's called Seder. It's an established Seder that changed things from then on. And this, as we mentioned earlier, that even in the natural order of things, there came the ability to attach oneself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that point in a person that is elevated above that of nature. And for that purpose, every person can, on Pesach, go out of this jail, this locked-in position, and he need not be obligated to his desires. And therefore, he can take it with him and accept upon himself Malchus Shamayim the way it should be. And he can eat matzah because this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, and it shows that we do not need to depend on this world, the physical world. We depend on the food that we get from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yisrael, when they left Egypt, ate matzah for 30 days. It gave them sustenance, satiation, from one kezayis. But a lot of it depends upon the person himself. I remember when the Rebbe Zatzal came home in 1997 from the hospital, he couldn't eat anything at all, but he looked forward to eating matzah, because matzah is called Nahamadas Vosa, bread that heals. So it has the ability to heal not only the spiritual but the physical as well. Now we come to another piece of the Sfas Emes on Shabbos Chol HaMoed. We say in the laning, in the Kriyas Hatorah, we say one should not make gods forms for oneself. You should keep Chag HaMatzos. Chazal learned from this that somebody who does not celebrate the festivals, but rather he shames the festivals, is as if he's serving Avodah Zarah. Chazal also write, it says Shabbos by the Mosdos, Parshas Emor, to tell you that somebody who keeps the Mosdos, it's as if he kept all of the Shabbosot. Chas v'sholom, the reverse is true as well. And this is what it means that the festivals were given to Yisrael, which, as the Pesach says, Asher tikru oisam, you shall call them, you shall make them clear when they are, even if for reasons you do not do it, you change it for a reason, b'shogeg, by accidentally or willfully so. I'll just add here, we know that Hillel came to Yisrael and they weren't sure if you're bringing a Korban Pesach on Shabbos, when Erev Pesach falls on Shabbos, and he told them you can do so. And the question arises, it's brought down in the Yerushalmi, that every 14 years you have to have at least once or twice Shabbos fall, Erev Pesach fall on Shabbos. The Gemara answers that they forgot with a special forgetfulness from Shemayim, so that to give greatness and grandeur to Hillel, to elevate him to be the Nasi. Otherwise, one would say that since they weren't sure about the halacha, they would push off Rosh Chodesh, so that it would never fall on Sunday. So Rosh Chodesh Nisan would never fall on Sunday, thus making it impossible for Pesach, Erev Pesach, to be on Shabbos. That's what Mazidin means. Even if they intentionally did so, and willfully, they have the ability, how Yisrael does, to decide the time. And Shabbos, but the Kedusha of Shabbos is different. It's Kriya V'Kaimo. It's there continuously, whether we mention it at Shabbos or not. Because Shabbos is when the entire world returns to its roots. Every Shabbos, the world renews itself, and above that of the nature, and is the root of life for everything. And therefore, there's no Kedusha Shabbos does not depend in Tachtonim, in what we do in this world, but there is still an additional Shabbos that we can add to the Shabbos itself by preparing ourselves during the 6 weeks to be attached to Shabbos. Sheish Yom Tazen Melocha, Yom Hashvi Shabbos Lashem. 6 days you shall work and work at bringing them into Kedusha. In the Medrash Hashirim, we find the word Shchor Ani. I find myself blackened b'yemois hachol, in the weekdays. And so too in the reverse. The explanation that the holidays give to Klal Yisrael, which you should call them even Shoyigin, even Mezin. And therefore, Kedusha Shabbos is not totally in this world. Still, there's an addition that we can add to Shabbos by preparing from the weekdays. In Medrash Hashirim, it says Shchor Ani b'meis hachol v'nova b'Shabbos. Even though I'm blackened from the worldliness during the week, on Shabbos I'm fine. And what is the praise in the fact that I'm blackened during the week? But that it's a continuation of Shabbos. That even though I am doing other things which are physical, still I have the Bechina of Shabbos. He means to say, everything's in comparison. I'm only black because I realize how much Kedusha there is on Shabbos. And in the next week, even if I've elevated myself during the week, I'm again black because of the Kedusha of Shabbos. And therefore, Yisrael give koyach to the concept of Shabbos as well. And that's Tosefos Shabbos. Because like water to a person, just like we accept Shabbos b'ahava, with a desire, so we merit to bring to ourselves the light of great heights. Now, the Bechin of Yontiv is to bring the Hatorah, the light, into the nature. Because we're talking about the physical world that we can declare as Yontiv. And therefore, that it was given to Klal Yisrael, that they are the ones who were sanctified. In the sense he's saying, if we want the time to be sanctified and we don't feel it, it's because we're not sanctifying ourselves. that through Bnei Yisrael there comes sanctification and spiritual illumination to the physical being, the physical world, and attaching the deed to its root, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who is the life of everything, is what the festivals are all about. That's what it says, that you should not make out of physical things godliness. Meaning, don't make them gods. That because in all your actions, a person has to believe that it's only from Hashem. Even though it seems like it's separate and it even contradicts Kedusha. Through the Emunah, to belief, we can be Zeiche, to take off that separation, which separates between and hides from us HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and there's nothing big or small, really, except that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created it that way, and that alludes to the spiritual level of a person as well, and that's what belief is all about. And so we find the Zohar HaKodesh, the Mishpotim. Hamavaza Hamoed Amiado is somebody who shames the festivals. He is as if he is serving Avodah Zorah, because these are the hiddenness of belief, to know that in everything there is Kedusha. And somebody who shames the miadas separates between this world and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he separates between Shabbos and everything that can be elevated through Shabbos and Yom Tov, because he doesn't have a proper belief. And that's Avodah Zarah. If you don't have the actual belief that you have to have, which causes a divider between man and God in this physical world. And therefore, it's considered as if he's Mechala Shabbosos Gamkein, even though Shabbosos are kodesh by themselves, and the person may be keeping Shabbos, but he doesn't utilize the Shabbos to bring the Kedusha of Shabbos into the weekday, and therefore he's Mechalal the Shabbos, because he's not implementing it. Because Hashem, Echod, Shmoi Echod, everything was created to glorify, not that he needs the glory, but we have to be able to utilize what is in the world to glorify Hashem. Obviously, the opposite is fact. If somebody keeps the Mayadis through belief, he's Zeicha, he merits the Bechina of Shabbos, even into the level, to the point where it's visible to him, and he recognized that the entire existence of life, of the world, comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. May we merit being able to take the Zman and be Mekadosh it. We should be worthy of having a Zman which is very spiritually high, and in the inverse, may that spiritual festival give us the ability to bring into the physical world spirituality.